for as long as they have been around, distress inks have been one of my favorite mediums to play with. Hey guys, May Flom here, and in this little video I just want to show you a super quick and easy way to use them for coloring like watercolors. So what I've got here, I've got a stamp, I've got some watercolor paper, I've got some archival ink because archival ink is not going to react with water. We want a permanent ink that will not react with water for this. And the why is because we want to be able to play with the distress inks, move the color around without moving the stamp image around. Now I am just trimming down my paper. It was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I want it about a 1/2 inch smaller to allow an edge for mounting this because I intend to turn this into a card. Now I like to work just on plain watercolor paper, and I like to just create on that without expectation, without stress. And then if I love how it turns out or not, I'll figure out what to do with it from there. So in this case, I've got my little I rough you stamp, so cute, and put my archival ink away, and we are ready to color. Coloring wise, what are we going to do? Well, I'm actually going to use the stamp block. And the reason I'm doing this, yes, you can use a lot of different things. You could use a non-stick mat, you could use a piece of plastic, you could use a lot of different things to color off of. But basically what you're trying to do is create a palette, and distress inks are great because number one, they're not going to stain that stamping block that, well, it's already stained, let's face it, but it's not going to stain or leave any color or affect that stamping block at all. You just need something that is slick that it won't stick to. And then what you're going to do is either a paintbrush and water, which I'll show you a little later in this video, or just get a water brush, which is a brush that you fill and refill with water, and then the water comes out the tip to create watercolor effects. And start with your colors. I like to start with my lightest color and work darker because the darker colors obviously kind of tend to take over the lighter ones. So this helps me with my shading and blending. And as you can see, I'm just picking up that ink with the water and putting it onto my image. Super easy, not hard at all, and not only that, but it's also really, really fun. So you can keep doing different colors. You could also, here's a little bit of green if you want to add different colors in the background. And you might notice me sometimes wiping the tip. That's just to get any color off. That's the only thing you're really going to want to do is if you have color on there and you don't want to blend that with your next color, go ahead and just either wipe it clean with a towel or a paper towel or your hand, whatever works. Distress ink is so forgiving and so much fun. And then I'm going to come in here with my darkest color. And by the way, we don't have to worry if those inks dry. They're reactivated with water, which is awesome. So we can just let our little ink palette there sit, and then we just add to it and work with it as we would like. And here you can see I'm adding just kind of some gentle, darker details here to our little puppy dog. I can also go back in with lighter colors. You can blend as many colors as you would like. Do as many things as you would like. In fact, I'm going to show you another image, and this time I'm going to work with a paintbrush that I dip in water just to show you whatever supplies you've got, you can always substitute, you can always play around. But the great thing about these inks, I'm telling you, you can use them directly to stamp with, you can use them to color, you can use them like this indirectly. Here you see I've got more colors over there on my stamp block, and by the way, when I am done, I just take a damp paper towel and wipe it down or rinse it off in the sink, and it's all set and done. And there we go with my paintbrush and dipping in water. And again, starting with my lighter colors and working darker. This is just such a fun medium to play with. And this is just one way to use them, but it's a really easy way to get some fun blending and coloring. And you can just really play with it. And I love the watercolor-like effects that you're going to get. And it's so much fun to play with what colors combine with what other colors, and what things can you do there with your distress ink. There certainly are a lot of possibilities, and it's something I've done a lot of videos on, classes on, and actually continue to do even now. And there you can see what I'm doing there is not removing color, I'm removing water because I want it like the right amount of wetness. This is why I prefer the water brush, because with the paintbrush, sometimes I have to play a little around with it a little more. You know, there's too much water, there's not enough water, because we do need to make sure that color spreads. We do need to make sure that the colors are blending and moving around the way we want them to. And that takes a certain degree of control. It's not a big deal. Like I said before, you absolutely can just do this with a paintbrush and some water. It absolutely works. It just sometimes takes a little more effort to get just the right amount of water there on that brush. And as you can see here, I'm almost done with this little birdie. So quick, so easy, so fun. And I'm going to turn this one into a card as well. Just a little distress ink fun. Now, if you want even more fun, I am actually, for the first time in many years, offering an online distress focused class. And I've got all kinds of details about that if you want the information in a link. If you look in the description of the video, I've got a link right there so you can find all of the information. And I'm also doing monthly distress ink Facebook Live videos that are free, as well as the paid class, because I always like to offer a little something for everybody in addition to my videos here on YouTube. If you've got any questions, comments, requests for future videos, please feel free to let me know. I'll be back next time with more fun and more crafty ideas to share.